Hello, my name is Skip, and this is From the Fourth Row's review of Warhorse. Now, when we first start, this horse is born and grows up, and Ted Narcott is in a goes down to town, and he is looking for a horse at a auction so he can plow his field. Now, he ends up buying this horse despite what everybody thinks. It's more of a racing horse than a workhorse. And this man named Mr. Lion, played by David Thewlis, kind of bids him up, so he ends up spending a lot of his money. And when he brings the horse home, his wife, played by Emily Watson, isn't too happy that he bought a thoroughbred instead of a workhorse. But his son says that he can train the horse and that the horse will work and be able to do the farm work in the in the field and plow the field. So he keeps the horse, and despite the trepidations of the townspeople, Mr. Lion ends up plowing the field and helping the family. But of course, one day there's a torrential rain and it ruins the crops. And then the inevitable happens. During this time in history, we're just on the brink of World War One, and so the English cavalry and the English military come looking for any eligible men, and they end up taking anything that they can use, such as horses. And this one captain, played by Tom Huddleston, recently in Thor as Loki, and the upcoming Avengers as Loki as well, tells the young man that he's going to pay him for his horse, but he's going to try his best to return his horse to him due to the war. He needs him, but he promises to give him back. So the English cavalry, they try to do a sneak attack on the Germans, and in this sneak attack, most of the men get killed, but a few of the horses, including Joey, the young man's horse, stays alive, and the Germans capture the horse. But there's a couple young boys that are tasked with training the horses and keeping them fit. They decide they don't want to go to war with the Germans anymore, so they take the horses and hide in a windmill. Well, they're found and executed, but the horses are still hidden in the windmill, and a little French girl named Emily finds them, and she convinces her grandfather to keep the horses, and she wants to train him and become a horse rider. But her grandfather's trepidation is finally, he finally goes into the what the little girl wants, because she's all he has, and so he takes a hidden saddle that he has and gives it to her so she can start riding and practice riding. But unbeknownst to them, the Germans have been hiding over the next hill, and they capture the horse again. And so they take the horse, and they're really working this horse over pretty good. It does a lot of work, a lot of pulling of equipment and whatnot. And so when Joey has a chance to escape, he ends up running away, but he runs away right in the middle of a battle, and there's barbed wire and everything, and he gets stuck in a barbed wire. And I think it's the best scene of the entire movie, where a German soldier and an English soldier free Joey from all being stuck in this barbed wire. I just, eventually, there's going to be a happy ending in this movie. And I've watched a few animal movies before. I would say this is on par with like Babe the Pig or The Black Stallion or Seabiscuit. And I think it stands up to be one of the best movies of the year, one of the best animal movies. And I think Steven Spielberg, all the main parts of this movie have got to do with this horse, Joey. And I think you are glued to the screen and you want to see this horse come out of it. And I mean, you're going to be fighting back the tears. I mean, that is such a sad story involving World War One and a girl and a boy, and I just cannot say enough about this movie. And I think that anybody that likes a good movie, whether it's a historical movie, a movie about animals, a movie about happy endings, or whatever, I think you should go see Warhorse, and I think you'd be very, very pleased with what you see. I think it's definitely one of the best movies I've seen all year, and any kind of sappiness that's in it, I think, is well placed because it is an unbelievable movie, and this horse and this story just hold the screen and hold my interest the entire time. So I'm going to give this a big see it. This is Skip, and this has been my review of Warhorse.